For mayonnaise.
So,
Fries and slaw.
hey, good morning, Stephen. Welcome to Try New Tech. Shannon, our co-host, is traveling, so I'm just going to run solo today. Fun fact about Stephen, anybody watching, you mentioned that you're originally from Pittsburgh as well.
Yep, originally born and raised. Grew up in the city, went to Allegheny College, which is about an hour north. And yeah, lived there for a few years after, and yeah, just eventually migrated down south, but still have a lot of family there.
Okay, where are you based now?
Miami.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Yeah, it's very frigid and cold here today. I think we're about 7 degrees, maybe if that, and a few inches of snow. So I have to shovel after this again, unfortunately. But so glad to have you on today. Stephen, I came across your product called Add to Sheets. I actually found it on Product Hunt, man. You hit the top there for a while. I'm not sure if it's still up there. But you created a really cool resource that I thought we could share. So I'll just let you kind of give us a quick intro and then we'll just run it right into a demo.
Sure, that works. First off, thanks. I appreciate it. So yeah, I had a product hunt last week, and that's actually the second product hunt I did. So I originally launched it, probably back in June-ish for the first time with like the initial feature set. And what it is it's a Chrome extension. If you're not familiar, Chrome extensions are just little widgets essentially you can add to the browser for extra functionality. And it allows you to right click on information when you're just browsing the web and automatically add it to a Google Sheet column. So really just cutting down on the amount of back and forth and tab switching and having tabs open, and hopefully let people be a little bit more efficient and make their lives easier.
Absolutely, I love it. I'm a Google Shop, so I'm doing everything in my Drive and my Sheets and Docs. So, and somebody like most people out there probably have a million tabs open. So playing the tab shuffle game is horrible. So I thought this was really cool. So yeah, if you want to kind of take over, we can present and you can give us a brief demo on how Add to Sheet works.
Sure. Let me just see here.
While you're doing that too, I'll go ahead and share your website here for anybody to go ahead and check it out. This is where they can find the link to the Chrome extension and a lot of cool other information as well too, which I'm sure you're going to be able to show us here.
Okay, so just let me know when you can see, and it's like the website right now.
Yeah, we're here.
Sometimes I open up on a Google Sheet and it's just blank, and then it's kind of underwhelming. But yeah, so for folks, if you're just kind of checking this out, you can visit the Chrome Web Store. It's available there, or just the website. You can click through, and there's some information here around like how to use it and like a getting started guide under the blog. But ultimately, like once you go to the web store here, and if you add it to Chrome, it's already installed here. You'll get this little widget up top in the toolbar, and when you open it, I've already signed in here. Let me actually log out. So you're going to sign in with Google, and there's two things with the extension. And I know some folks are like a little bit wary of adding things to Chrome.
Right.
And the first thing is that we use sign in with Google because we need access to your Google Sheets if you want to save information. But the second thing is that you like the extension doesn't have access to any of your sheets or your data other than like your login, your email, just for allowing you to log in and out, unless you provide and allow that access. So I'll show what that looks like here.
Good.
So it's not like you sign in and then like all your data is in this
Yeah,
extension. It's not
so
like that at all.
everything's stored locally on the browser, right? So nothing's being passed along unless you're going to give it those parameters.
Correct. Yep. And we'll take a look at that. So like I'm just going to sign in, and I've already been it. Yeah. So this is good. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see the pop-up. Are you able to see the window?
There's a little bit of an issue with pop-ups and some
Okay.
internal links and audio and things like that with StreamYard, but yeah.
Okay. So it's in the kind of, I've got a video. I'll share it, and it goes through and shares, but shows what that looks like. But once you're logged in, it's a pretty simple little interface. And this sidebar here is actually part of Chrome. I did this on purpose because I think it's nice to not once again have to toggle back and forth. So you can actually flip around to different tabs here, and this stays open if you want it to. It doesn't have to. You can close it, but just for configuration.
Yeah.
And then once you're in here, you can manage your file access, which would be allowing access to Google Sheets. And really, ultimately, the idea here is that you want a Google Sheet column. So if I go over to this Sheets column here and I say, like notes, You want to be able to right click on data on websites and get it into these subsequent rows. So it's just going to fill in the rows going down. So that allows you to, not have to go back and forth and really just like copy and paste. So
Yeah.
once I do that, I can go over to update spreadsheets. You'll see that I've already selected the notes spreadsheet here, but like it's going to list out what you have and you just have to select it, do that, and it should pull information. And then I've got notes spreadsheet here, and I can go through and configure a column. So the sheet here, it corresponds to the sheet number down here. So this is 12, and I just did that because just to show that like it doesn't have to be sheet number 1.
Yeah.
And then you can select columns here. So if you have a header in place, it's going to just assume that. So notes here corresponds to just this first row. If not, it will kind of pre-fill what it can. And let me just do notes. And I actually already have one set up here, but if I wanted to do, notes number 2, I can do this and add it here. Now, what happens once you do that? It seems like you're like, okay, like where do I add data? Now, if you go back to a website, you can actually right click. So I'm just going to highlight and then right click. And now you get this context menu here. So you'll see that I've got notes 2, which I just created.
Mhm.
Then I have trip ideas and notes with the little emoji here. And that corresponds to these other configurations that I have below. So one goes to the same sheet and the other one goes to a vacation ideas spreadsheet. So let me see if I can, well, actually, I'll just start here. Sharing window. Let me just stop sharing for a second. I'm going to try and share my full screen here.
Okay. Yeah, we got you. Now it looks really cool. Pretty intuitive. I like that it's all native into the Chrome browser tab that kind of kicks out from the side there as well. Very cool.
Makes it a little bit easier. I feel like with I have other extensions that are like pop-ups and some other things, but like then you're always like going to the pop-up. It gives a little bit of a native experience. I'm going to try entire screen here and then switch over. So it should just be the browser window.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to play a little bit of window maneuvering. And this is literally what the extension allows you not have to do.
Right.
Do things like this. Okay.
Real time though, I'm assuming, right? You're gonna fire it over there. We'll be able to see.
So
Nice.
I'll just right click and I'll go to notes number 2 here and it should populate down. So the data popped up over here.
Nice.
So if I can select information and do that, if I just want to right click on the page itself, I can do that and it will add the link. So this is a great way to just kind of do that. And then also, these are videos. Let me see here. Actually, I'll jump over to Pinterest.
Okay.
If you have like images, you can also do, this is just like some Paris trip kind of inspiration stuff. Let me see if there's a nice one here. Yeah, we'll do the Eiffel Tower. You can right click on images as well and then pop that over and that will pop the image in. Now,
yeah,
this is going to do like the function. It's going to automatically put the function to embed the image in here. So if I do this and then click, you'll see that it's giving kind of this image function here. I've gotten some feedback to make this more customizable. So some folks just want links there or they want to use, there's some other parameters. So that's going to be in the works, but really lets you kind of just like rip through sites and add info here without, going back and forth.
This is great, man. No, I love this. I think it's a huge time saver. And I think you have a big list on your website over at addtosheets.com that, with some general ideas, right? So we've got, you could grab email addresses, right? I believe from LinkedIn, I think was one as well. You could go onto a LinkedIn page, grab email or grab, title information if you're doing some sales prospecting, budget tracking, wedding planning. I mean, there's a whole list of cool stuff on here. I know I'd have a ton of use cases just for this, even recipes, right? Like,
so there's also this. So that's like, so it's kind of like a, getting, building like a mental model around like what this actually means. So like each kind of configuration here goes to a different column. But once you have these columns here, you can then, so there's like a pro version, which just allows you a couple different things and just for ongoing new functionality. But you can actually group these columns. So for instance, if you had like a shared spreadsheet with someone where you're, I don't know, tracking budget items or something else, you can create a column in that sheet and then a column in your own sheet. And you can actually then group these together. So I could do like trip ideas and notes number 2, make this like group 1, create group. And now like that information is also available here. So if I click this, it will actually go to 2 different places, 2 different
Nice.
sheets at
Yeah.
the same time. So that's that functionality. And then the matches is what you were mentioning around patterns. So I don't have a lot of emails on the main page, but you can do links right now. So if I wanted to find all the links on this site, it will grab
Wow.
everything.
This is
And I can just, yeah, I can batch load those over. So let me just do that and I'll just pop those over and it will put them right into the spreadsheet here.
yeah.
So you can do that with emails and then also image URLs as well. So
Okay.
like emails, there's only one here, but
Then so here's a good question then for the pattern matching. I think this is phenomenal, man. Let's say I'm taking a newsletter digest, right? Or I'm reading, I got a million newsletters and they've got a million links in them, right? And I'm like, all right, I want to save these links because this could work in Gmail. Like if I have my Gmail window open and that newsletter is up, would it find the pattern within that email, or does it have to be? Would I have to launch that into like a browser tab?
it should. I actually haven't tried links
Okay.
in email. It should. If not, then that's I'll add it in.
Yeah, no, just curious because
It's
we've
yeah.
done a show too on even just newsletter curation, right? We're getting
Mhm.
digests of between the two of us, we get so many different types of newsletters. But yeah, that's just something like I think this pattern matching functionality is key, man. This is really cool.
It's yeah, and so like the genesis behind this is the same thing, like making it easy
Yeah.
to go back and forth. But I actually originally built out the patterns to allow for any custom patterns. So you could go in and create like your own pattern. Um, but the thing is, that's very tricky initially, right? Without like, as when I was launching, it was like, I don't know, there's like a lot of variables. I don't know how people are going to use it, and I don't want it to like kind of go a little bit wonky. So I added in these standard patterns, but the idea is to build this out more so that you can create your own patterns. And then also, I've gotten a lot of feedback around like, so using like LinkedIn as an example, where you can go to a site and create almost like mappings of data. So like a title or a name would be a map to a column, and then a title or a position would be mapped to another column, and then just automatically be able to like right click and then add to say LinkedIn profiles, and it will grab that information
Yeah,
at once and just map it over.
I want to prospect all decision makers in this particular industry, right? And I'm going to go, here's the title, here's the name, and I can just dump all of those over. I think that's
Yeah.
great. Very cool, man. So I'm assuming that pattern and stuff is on the pro feature. So talk to me a little bit about what that pricing. Obviously, it's free, to use what you kind of demoed at the beginning, and then if you want to get a little bit more features, what are we looking like cost wise?
So it's 29 a year right now. So and actually I think there's still a promo code on Product Hunt, so you can get. I think
Nice.
it's a little bit off of that. And really, what that is to support both new functionality and then just the ongoing maintenance. So
Yeah.
one thing with Chrome extensions, I'm just going to switch off the screen sharing here.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Is that let me see the like the biggest thing with Chrome extensions is that it's almost like an iOS app. Like once you get these things out there, there's yeah, you can't really like I don't know what's going on your machine to like just update. And there's a lot of ongoing maintenance to keep them up to date. A lot of extensions you see may have a lot of users, but they're actually not updated often because it's just a difficult, you don't want to break things. And I'm not using any additional servers. So everything, as you mentioned earlier, it's your browser
Yeah.
to Google's API. So the data never persists anywhere else. I wanted to introduce pretty much like an opt-in for the pro, where if you, for instance, in the future, if you wanted some Gen AI capabilities or some other stuff, that's an explicit decision you're making to say like, okay, I'm willing to like, I don't know, have you process some data somewhere, not necessarily save it, but
Sure.
like you're making that decision. Whereas
Yeah.
with the free version, I just want to make sure like the baseline is like your privacy, it's your data, like you can use this, install, uninstall, whatever, but like we're not keeping anything or doing anything extra with what you're browsing.
Love that, man. Awesome. Now this is super cool. I'm definitely going to be a user and customer. I think I'll opt for the pro here soon as well too myself. No, I appreciate you sharing. Definitely, anybody who wants to check this out, go to addtosheets.com for sure. I'm definitely going to also get all your links. Obviously, we can link out to the page and we can link out to the Chrome extension over on YouTube. So if anybody's watching and follows us over on New Tech Demos on YouTube, we'll get those linked up there as well if you're not watching this on live on LinkedIn today. So, Stephen, my man, this is great. I was definitely happy to have you on and connect today, and really appreciate it, and hope to be seeing more from you here soon.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And yeah, if anyone has questions or feedback, always open to that. And love what you're doing with the show. And yeah,
Cool.
excited to see your continued success as well.
Thank you. We'll talk soon. Thanks.
Alrighty.